Would you look at that? I'm on my 5th review this week. I'm on fire, guys. Super fire. I was going to review something else completely different, but I was really eager to see what was going to happen in this episode based on the previews. So I went ahead and I decided to watch it today. Tomorrow, I'm either going to watch Cheer Boys or I'm thinking maybe possibly Skate Infinity, which is a new show that's out right now, because that looks really interesting, but we'll see. Or maybe I'll watch something else altogether. Why don't you guys make a suggestion and maybe I'll pick it and I'll review that tomorrow. But yeah. So let's get into talking about this episode, which is honestly so far my favorite one. I like the song they picked. I like the pairing. I like Mike x Kai, Kai x Mike. I think they're a cute couple. And as of this episode, I don't care what anybody says. I'm declaring them as canon. This is law now. They are canon. The episode starts with Kai, teasing Mika and also sharing useless facts about, Calico and whatnot. And Mika's not totally amused, but he's not saying anything. He's just silently, crunching on these gross curry-flavored biscuits. Honestly, I think that sounds so gross. So I kind of agree with Kai when he says that they're a lie. But anyways, so he ends up opening one of the other boxes, Kai does, and pulls a rare. This ugly looking octopus thing. I don't understand the appeal of it. I mean, I guess I kind of do because they're like a parody of another thing that's really popular, but still, this one in particular looks so ugly. Well, anyways, Mike's mad because he didn't pull it, and he's been trying forever. And Kai gets it with just one pull, even though he wasn't exactly trying to pull a rare or anything. He was just, curious. So Kai tries giving it over to Mike, but Mike's like, no, I'm not taking it, because he's being stubborn. Because he's mad. He feels like he should pull it, and it won't count unless he pulls it, right? And Kai's like, I don't understand why you're being so ridiculous. They're just both kind of being childish. And I don't think Kai really meant, to make him mad. And he's just as frustrated. So this whole episode, for a good chunk of it, just centers around, this ongoing fight. These guys have a scene, again, where they're talking without facing each other, trying to be secretive. And I don't understand why. I don't understand. Okay, so that blonde guy, right, he's in the singing club, but he's having a secret conversations with the teacher of the archaeological club. And I'm just like, why? Why is this such a secretive missions? Why do they have to meet like this? What is the purpose? I get it has to do with the white wall and the mysteries behind it. And, I get that the teacher's trying to, discover the hidden mysteries and blah, blah, blah. But I don't understand why they have to keep meeting like this. Are they forbidden from talking to each other? I just don't understand. I think it's kind of dumb. So Kai and Mike's school club end up going to this museum that, the singing club member and that other teacher were secretly talking about. Because, of course, there's information about the wall, and the teacher wants to, investigate it. Which, I feel like he's constantly sticking his nose into this wall business when he doesn't truly understand it. And in this episode, it really affects the people around him, his, nosiness. I mean, this is really going to affect one of his students, and he shows no remorse. I don't think he's ever going to learn anything. I don't think he realizes that he's involving other people in his obsession, and he doesn't care. He doesn't. Side note, this receptionist has the most blankest face and just dullest voice I have ever heard. Like, I don't know if that was just an aesthetic choice or what, but it was a little off-putting. This museum possibly has the worst security, like, ever, because that teacher is able to just sneak off away from his group and go back and past this do not cross sign and sneak in to a hidden room which has part of what looks like the white wall or something, and is able to just attempt to hack into their computers. And the only person to freaking notice is that white-haired kid. They really need to up their security. But yeah, the white-haired guy clearly knows more of what's going on and how everything is working. But he must not work for the museum people at all, because he doesn't even stop him or help the security people per se. If anything, later in the episode, he helps them escape the museum when everything's shutting down. So anyways, like I said, the teacher messes with some files and some data and stuff, and it causes Mike to get transported mentally or possessed or something, and this ghost courtesan from the past ends up like running through him and I guess possessing him. After he's pretty much gets possessed, I guess you could say, I don't know, they like merge, become one or something, and he passes out and ends up going into a coma, and Kai's like freaking out, and the teacher takes a moment to even realize, something's wrong. And I thought maybe it was because he noticed, the screaming for help, but I guess it was the security finally acting up. And he freaking thinks that he's just sleeping. Like, oh, Mike, what are you doing sleeping? I hate this teacher so much. I hate him. Like, at first I was just annoyed by him as the episodes go on, but after this episode, I legit hate him. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. So, the security is finally alerted, obviously, because they see a computer was tampered with. And thanks to the white-haired boy, whose name I can't remember, Casey? I think it's Casey. Anyways, he hacks into their security system, it looks like, and he helps them escape, just narrowly. And then he even, opens the gate so they can escape through, but the teacher was gonna straight up ram through it. Honestly, in a way, I think that Keishi here is the unsung hero of this anime. He's like a benevolent god overseeing all the actors, just watching them and observing and helping here and there when it's needed. One thing I found interesting, though, was that on his security cameras where he observes everything, he caught the ghost girl going into Mike's body. So, I'm confused. Is it a ghost? Is it not? I feel like it's a ghost, but how come his cameras caught it, but did any other cameras catch it? I have so many questions. So they rush to the hospital. At least there's something smart going on in this episode. And our main trio is already there because, of course, they're visiting Saku's sister, and they get really worried when they see Mike's state, and they decide, they're gonna go see what's up because he looks like he's not doing so good. Meanwhile, in what I assume is the past, Mike wakes up, not realizing that he's basically merged with the courtesan, who apparently is dying of a heart disease and doesn't have long to live. And his master, or I guess her master, is away, and, they're in love, I guess. At first, he thinks that this is a huge prank that Kai's putting on, and he's like, whatever, I'll play along, but this is just cosplay to me, it's not going to affect me. And the girls are like, why are you acting so weird? You're not acting girlish. And he's like, I'm a guy. And they're like, did you hit your head? Are you okay? And they show him a hand mirror and revealing, a girl's face. And, rightfully, Mike freaks out. I would too. At the hospital, they run some head scans and other tests, and they can't find anything wrong. So they wheel him away to a hospital room. And of course, Kai is there by his side. His one true love. I am not delusional. I swear to God. Look at how he holds his hand. Such tender, loving care. Some TLC. And he's just like, wake up, Mike. Wake up. I've never seen you sleep so deeply. Because he's seen him sleep, because they're so close. So, for the rest of the episode, it's just them going back and forth between the hospital and the past. And basically, Mike ends up just full on accepting his identity. And it's like he forgets himself and he officially becomes the courtesan. So, he officially becomes, the prostitute, right? And we see hints of him performing his duties. But knowing what a prostitute does this mean that he was straight up doing it and seducing all these other dudes, right? So, I don't know how do I feel about this. Because that's what he was. He was a prostitute. In fact, the song that plays during this that he is singing is a very popular Vocaloid song called Yoshiwaru's Lamet, I believe. And again, it's about a prostitute. And about, yearning for, a certain someone and stuff. And it's like, I don't know, it hurts to think about. My head hurts. But also kind of a little bit my heart, because it's he was doing dudes. He was doing many dudes while he was in a coma. I shouldn't be laughing. Speaking of the song, though, I really love this cover of the song. Like I said before, this is probably my most favorite cover in this whole anime so far. Cloudy Days is definitely second place, but this song, I don't know if it's because I kind of liked the song well before this anime. Maybe that's why. Oh, wait, but then there's Remote Control. No, wait, it's Remote Control, then it's this, then it's Cloudy Days. Well, no, I guess Remote Control and this one's kind of tied. Because, yeah. Oh, and in this one scene where a John, if you will, is reaching out and touching Mike's hand, in the real world, in the present, Kai is also holding his hand and just wishing he'd wake up. And I was so sad. And you can tell that everything that Kai does around, Mike, in a way, Mike is sensing it. He opens up a biscuit curry thing, those gross things. And in the past, he can smell the curry biscuits. Through the curry biscuits, those prizes inside, we can see a rough estimate of how many days have passed since he's been in a coma. And it's so many of those ugly little octopus things, and not one was rare. And it's maybe Kai thinks if he can get another rare, maybe he'll wake up or something. Meanwhile, Mike's life is nearing its end, or I guess the prostitute's is. And she starts coughing a lot and blood comes out. And it must be affecting his, present body, because he starts looking like he's visibly in pain. And Kai starts freaking out. Fortunately, the other three are also there, as well as green-haired gamer guy whose name I forgot. And Uta goes to go get the doctor so they can get some help. So poor Mike is lying on, his/hers deathbed, the illness finally taking hold, and the other courtesans are like, hold on, don't worry, your master's coming. He's gonna come back, and you need to hold on a little longer. You'll be okay. And in the present, Kai is like, wake up, Mikey. Be okay. I'm here. Please be okay. And I'm just like, oh, my shipper's heart. Kai's voice starts sounding clearer even in the past. And Mike opens his eyes and he sees, the young master. And I'm thinking, gosh, his lower face looks awfully familiar. And again, he's like full on the prostitute at this point. So he ends up, going and like saying, you're here, thank God. And he actually visibly turns into the girl's face and everything. And the young master's full face comes into view, and you're like, I know that freaking face. I know who that is. That's freaking Kai. And to prove it, I'm going to show you a side-by-side comparison, and you will see that I am not wrong. Look, same eyes, same eyebrows, same mouth, same nose, same hair color and everything. Sure, the hairstyle's different, but that's because it was a different era. That was Kai's past self, which makes me theorize that maybe the prostitute whose name was very, very similar to Mike's, but a feminine version, that was his past self. They were past lovers. This is my theory, and it has so much validity to it. I'm telling you, why else would the young master look exactly like carbon copy of Kai? Why else? Why else, my dude? Mike ends up opening his eyes again, except this time he's officially in the present. But his mind is still like merged with what I theorize is his past self. And he ends up calling Kai master and proclaiming his love for him and hugging him and all that. While he's being hugged, Kai straight up blushes. Like, he is totally okay with this. And he even says, like, I don't mind all this. It's cool, but, other people are watching. And I guess, Mike comes to and he realizes, crap, there's a room full of people and they're watching. And he ends up pushing Kai away and going, what are you doing? So Kai ends up giving him this huge, just full bag of, these freaking biscuit things. And they were each opened every day that he was sleeping. Look at how many days he had to have been sleeping, right? Like, I'm not crazy. And there's just one unopened. And Kai's like, you can open that one. Maybe it'll be the lucky one. And Mike's like, fine, but I'm not going to open it around you because you're bad luck. But I mean, they've clearly made up, and that's great. And I'm just so happy for them. Let their ship sail and not sink like the Titanic. And the episode ends with our darling God and Safer just looking exhausted. I don't think he sleeps enough. You should sleep more, my dude. Sleep. Rest. You're going to get bags underneath your eyes. Maybe leave the computer room that you're in and go sing a song. Please, I want to hear this guy sing so bad. And sadly, with this episode done, that means there's only 5 more episodes. Oh, it's going by so quick. Pretty soon, I'm going to have to replace this with a whole new anime. And I'm hoping I will have more stuff to pick from. Hopefully newer stuff. We'll see. I have a couple stuff I'm looking at potentially getting into, but I'm not fully 100% on board yet. Which leads me to my next question. If I end up reviewing tomorrow, do you want me to do another 2-episode review of Cheer Boys? Or do you want another episode review of Hakata Ramens? Or how do you feel about me trying out the first episode of Skate Infinity or whatever it's called? This one here. Because I saw a clip of it and it looks pretty interesting. Maybe I might try an episode of that. potentially if people are interested in that. I don't know if I'm going to complete the series because, again, I'm going into this kind of weary. But at the very least, I will probably do at least one, maybe two, and then see about going beyond that. And since I'm looking at doing an extra review this week, since I've already done 5 or 6 now, that this is a potential one I could do as a bonus as well if you don't want Cheer Boys or Hakata Ramens. I don't know. I don't mind doing any of the other ones too. Or if you have any suggestions of any anime, just let me know. I'll review it. Comment down below. I'm willing to take suggestions because I'm really trying to watch more stuff because I have spent all of last year predominantly only watching Chinese stuff. So I'm a little out of the loop of anime. And that's another reason why I'm watching so many this year. Just comment down below. And thanks for joining me along for this ride. Cannot wait to go speed through another 5 episodes. Heck, if you want, I could do another episode of this tomorrow or Sunday. I don't mind. Just let me know. Any kind of anime. Any kind. Throw it at me.